Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to my channel, Joey Barnett TV. I hope each and every single one of you are doing very well. I hope you're all in the best of mood you could be in. Hope you're in the best of health. And I hope you're going to have a nice, jolly, nice Christmas with your family, because that's exactly what it's all about, isn't it? Spending quality time around the family. I did put a post up the other day, a little bit doom and gloom about I don't like Christmas, and I was just having a bit of a bad day. So I want to apologise to my followers, guys, because at the end of the day, I know that quite a few of my followers get inspired by my stories, and I wouldn't want to give the wrong impression out. But yeah, we all have bad days, don't we? So it's just a bad day, and you just got to, move on from it and do the best what you can. So yeah, what I'm going to be what I'm going to be talking about now is part two of the HMP Belmarsh list, which was on House Block 4 in 1999. The list had been given to one of the inmates, and it had been passed around all of the chaps on the wing, especially the chaps what was game, and it was a bit of sport for us. So yeah. This is now the next part of the story, which I'm going to tell you is allegedly what had happened. So one of the speedos, which was on the hit list, was a very, very, very bad. I mean, they're all bad, didn't they? But there is different levels of this crime, by the way. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that on another podcast, because when these speedos go on the numbers and go on Raw 43 and go onto a whole wing, they share each other's stories, the speedos, and yeah, it's sickening to even think about what they talk about amongst each other, and they're getting protected by the other inmates, whilst they've left a lifetime of scars, misery, pain, sorrow, and all the rest to their victims. And when one slips through the net and goes on normal location and gets what he deserves, then I'm afraid to say it was me most of the time what was taking the pleasure out of hurting these people. And would I do it today? Don't know. If I was put in that situation and I was back in the shovel again, then yeah, I probably would, because at the end of the day, I believe in convict justice. And when these people go to jail for these horrific crimes, they get the best of everything. But anyway, guys, before I bang on any further, I just want to let you know that I think this is my fifth day of having this horrible flu, whatever I've got. 1 minute, guys. So yeah, that has been missus just come back in from the shops. I'm quite happy with my new setup. I hope you like my new surroundings, but yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? I've got a new setup. So yeah, we're talking about this hit list in Belmarsh. Let's go back to the story. Now, it was alleged that I was one of the guys that attacked one of these guys. No, I'm not going to call them guys. One of these beast speedos, what was on the hit list. I'm not going to mention the guy's name, but what I can say is on House Block 4 in Belmarsh, there's a lot of CCTV. There's a lot of cameras. There's a lot of surveillance. The screws have got I've got Big Brother watching you 24/7 on there, because you've got some high category inmates in there and some very violent inmates in there too. And I was one of them, to be honest with you. This is in 1990, and I just got arrested for ×7, not one, not two, ×7 armed robberies with firearms. And on a few of the occasions, the firearm did get let off. So they had all forensics, DNA, and gun residue, on my overalls, which they found in a lockup, what I call the slaughterhouse, like 12 months later after the crime had happened. So we got arrested for ×7, and it's when the shit hit the fan in the end. The robbery spiraled back to like a good 2 or 3 years, and yeah, they've done us for quite a few of them. So I had a dangerous mindset. I was a dangerous person at that time. As I said, I ain't going to bang on about it too much, but I just lost my mum You know, my life wasn't going too well. Although I had very good family support network around me and a loving family, I was now on my own because I was doing a 12-year sentence, and you know, I didn't have much to lose. So when I got given these opportunities to do these horrible beasts in speedos, I'm afraid to say I accepted them, and I enjoyed doing it. I actually look forward to doing it. It was a good day out for me and something to talk about to the other lads. Do you know what I mean? One of them ones. So yeah, I never used my hands. Although I could use my hands and I could have a tear up back in the day, I never ever used my hands, and the reason for that is because of I wanted to give them as much pain and injuries as possible as I possibly could. And yeah, a few of them got done with tins of tuna in a sock. Another one got done with a bed leg, the end of a bed leg. But this one in question, he was in for an horrific crime. It was against his nan. So he killed his nan in her flat, laid her body out on the bed and put candles all around her body. He was having sex with her dead body. I know this is graphic content, so viewers' discretion will definitely be advised in this video, guys. But yeah, there's no easy way of me saying this to you, and there's no kind words about round it. I've just got to tell you exactly how it was. Because if I try and sugarcoat it, it ain't going to sound right. So I just got to tell you exactly how it was. This guy was in for killing his nan. He had her body in her own flat for 3 days. He laid her out on the bed. He put candles all around her body while he was having sex with her. He was filming it on his phone, and he was smoking crack at the time. So yeah, he was in for an horrific crime. Now, his name come up on the hit list, and he was one of the top speedos what needed doing really badly, and needed doing there and then, because the minute he got the wind or he got an incline that his name was on the hit list, he was gone onto the numbers, gone. He'd go straight onto his bell, bang himself up, go straight on his bell, the screw would put him straight on protection. So there is no room for error. It had to be done there and then. And the minute I got the name on the list, I got, this is allegedly, 2 people went into his cell. I was allegedly one of them, and started attacking this guy. So what happened was the guy ended up going, getting wrestled onto the bed. One guy had him in a neck hold, and someone else, which was allegedly me, was punching him up like that, up into the rib cage constantly. So had him in a neck hold like that, and bang, 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 but harder than that. You know, I'm talking punching like that, and giving every bit of your body into it, into his rib cage, into his kidneys, into his solar plexus. That went on for about 10 minutes, and he was squealing like a pig. And the more he screamed like a pig, the more excited it got us, to be honest with you, because the more pain what we inflicted on this dirty beast of a man, the better. So yeah, and at that time, as I say to you, I was a dangerous person. I didn't care, if I got another sentence on top. As far as I was concerned, I couldn't see no light at the end of the tunnel. At that time of my sentence, it was the beginning of my sentence. So yeah, as I said to you, because it was CCTV'd up and there's cameras on House Block 4, I was a Category A inmate, by the way, and also I was an E-man. So I was in a jumpsuit, which they call it a budgie guard suit, or whatever you want to call it, an escapee suit or banana suit. It's basically a yellow and green oval, and you've got to take it off out of your off you and hang it over the landing each night. You're not allowed to go in your cell with it, and you're on the book. So everywhere you go, the screws are following you about. In some sense, it helped me out because it helped me jump queues, and then it helped me got my applications a lot quicker. And it carried a little bit of clout too, by the way, especially when it came to the pecking order. I was very highly respected in there. So yeah, this is allegedly what happened, as I say to you guys. But I was taken down the segregation unit not long after this incident happened with this guy. So basically, he managed to crawl onto the floor and hit the panic button, and all the screws come. They banged everyone up, banged us all up, and you know, a few minutes later, I'm like this in the cell like that, thinking, oh no, oh no. And then bang, yeah, the call come. My door got unlocked along with my other pal, and we both got taken to the segregation unit. We wasn't told at that time why we was getting taken down the segregation unit. But when we got down there, we was obviously told why we was put down there by the block screws, because quite a few of the block screws are old school screws, and they've been there for a few years. And in a lot of jails, the block screws are half the best screws. They are, you know, no screws are good screw, but block screws, they're hardcore. A lot of them have been in the job a long time, and you know they don't like these people neither. So yeah, we was quickly told. And a few days later, the police come in, took statements from me and my pal, and put us under investigation. We sat down the segregation unit for 5 weeks, and luckily enough, it come back that there was no evidence, no forensics, no DNA. And what I said in my statement, this is alleged. What I said in my statement is when they asked me how, if it wasn't me what committed this crime on this dude or this bacon, if it wasn't me, then how was I seen on the CCTV by coming in and out of this guy's cell with blood all over my overalls? And the answer to that was, I heard a commotion on association time. I thought I'd run in there to see what was going on. I see the guy on the floor. I picked the guy up and put him, you know, put him into his recovery position and walked out of the cell. And that's how you see me coming out the cell on the CCTV. And that's how you see blood on my overalls too. But yeah, luckily enough, there's no further action. But yeah, a lot of violence does go on in jail, guys, and a lot of it gets pushed under the carpet. Not many of it goes outside, and people get charges because, you know, the prison system knows that, you know, most inmates are violent. Most inmates are in there for violence, and it's part of the game. That's what happens in there. So yeah, unless you do something really, really, especially towards a screw, if you attack a screw, then you're definitely going to get outside charges. And yeah, I would have got outside charges on this if there'd have been more evidence. But as luck had it, we got our story straight. It wasn't me what done this anyway, by the way, guys. But I'll tell you something now. He got it properly. He was pissing his own blood for weeks and weeks and weeks, and he had to be put into a seduced coma because he was in such a bad way. And yeah, things like that do happen, guys. And this is what I was saying to you. Some screws, you know, do leak information, especially on speedos. No one likes them. At the end of the day, I now understand that, you know, being a screw is a job. They like going home to their wife, to their family, to their kids, and it's, you know, they're only doing it for the money. Someone's got to do it, ain't they? But back in them days, I didn't look at it like that. Nowadays, as a reformed person, as a drug-free person, and someone what's been out for 13 years, I'll look at screws in a different angle. But yeah, you know, you can't really take it for face value, you know, on screws, because there is screws what are in jail, what fall out with inmates, that have trouble with inmates, and then they spread fake news about that inmate, and they get that inmate severely served up, and then, you know, it turns out that the inmate was, you know, it wasn't the case with the inmate. He wasn't in for the crime what the screw what Sandy was. So you've got to be very, very careful. But there is still a few old school screws left, you know. I don't know about it nowadays, but yeah, as I say, they're human beings, aren't they? So yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up, guys, because I've got to go and pick up Amy from the train station. She's coming down for Christmas. We're going to have a lovely Christmas, by the way, guys. But I just want to say one thing before we go. What it's like for inmates being in jail over Christmas. To be totally honest with you, I can't sugarcoat this neither. There's no easy way to say it, but it is the worst time of the year for any inmate to be in jail. And that's because if they're missing their loved ones, and, you know, they know that they should be around their loved ones at Christmas time. So it's not a very nice time to be in jail. No time is nice to be in jail, but especially around Christmas. But yeah, they do put a little, well, I'll be lying. You go down to the hot plate and you'll get maybe 2 really thin pieces of turkey, a couple of hard roast potatoes, a little bit of veg on the side. You'll have the screws be on the hot plate with Christmas hats on, all jolly, and we're all like depressed and not in a very, very good mood, and they're trying to lift the inmates' spirits up, but they can never do it. So what a lot of inmates do on Christmas Day, to be totally honest with you, is try and get completely off of their face, and that's what I've done, to be honest with you. Not off my face on Class A, but it's sleeping tablets and sedatives and things like that, just to get rid of the day. But yeah, there's no special treatment for inmates in jail. You don't get let out for any extra time. If anything, you're put behind your cell more on Christmas Day than what you are any other day of the week, because the screws want to just do their job and get home to their family, which is not a nice thing, because the inmates are stuck behind the door 23 hours a day. You're let out to use the phone, get out and get your bit of grub, and that is it. There's no association on Christmas Day. There wasn't when I was doing bird anyway, so you're not enjoying it. And in a sense, that's probably a better way, because if you're behind your door, you ain't seeing all that crap, people trying to like sugarcoat it and think that they're having a good day in prison Christmas Day, because they're not. Do you know what I mean, guys? But yeah, I'm going to get this one uploaded. Hope everyone has a great Christmas. I'll be back coming at you again later on today. Peace.